to this week's Money Metals podcast, helping gold and silver investors during these turbulent times. Now, this week's market wrap with commentary and analysis from Money Metals Exchange, the company named Best Overall Precious Metals Dealer by Investopedia.
Welcome to this week's Market Wrap podcast. I'm Mike Leeson. Gold and silver markets drifted lower again this week as investors brace for additional Fed rate hikes to come. On Wednesday, the Federal Reserve released the minutes from its latest policy meeting. Policymakers agreed on the need for additional increases in interest rates. They settled on just a 0.25% bump up at their last meeting, but some dissenters called for a larger 0.5% hike. Since the Fed's last move, incoming economic data has been emboldening the hawks. A superficially strong U.S. jobs report combined with stubbornly high inflation readings suggests central bankers may have more work to do. Following the Fed's policy meeting earlier this month, Chairman Jay Powell declared that disinflation was taking hold. But since then, inflation indicators have shown the opposite, that price levels in the economy continue to come in high and continue to exceed most forecasts. Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis President James Bullard is casting doubt on Powell's call for disinflation to take hold. Bullard says monetary policy is not yet sufficiently restrictive, and in recent remarks, he warned that if the Fed is too soft on inflation, we risk a repeat of the 1970s.
Inflation's a pernicious problem, so it is a risk, and it does affect. One of the lessons of the last 2 years is that everybody feels the effects of inflation. It's pretty much across the spectrum. So rich and poor, young and old, everybody notices. So if we can't get this problem under control soon, we risk a replay of the 1970s. In the 70s, the U.S. monetary policy did not act strongly enough to keep inflation under control.
Let's hope that we get disinflation in 2023, but right now it came in hotter than we thought.
Of course, the 1970s were a difficult decade for investors. Bonds got clobbered while stocks suffered a severe bear market in real inflation-adjusted terms. Precious metals were the standout asset class of the 1970s, culminating in a manic run to record highs in gold and silver in January 1980. We aren't yet seeing that kind of outperformance take shape. Although demand for physical bullion remains strong, there's little speculative interest on the long side manifesting in futures markets or exchange-traded funds. In recent weeks, traders have been more inclined to sell metals contracts. As of this Friday recording, the gold market is posting a weekly loss of 1.8% to bring spot prices to $1,818 an ounce. Silver is off 4% since last Friday's close to trade at $21.06 an ounce. Platinum is down 1.4% this week to come in at $929. And finally, palladium prices are down a whopping 8.2% for the week to trade at $1,435 per ounce. Metals markets are entering oversold territory and may be due for a technical bounce in the near future. Whether that develops into a more sustainable breakout will likely depend on whether the Federal Reserve indicates it will be winding down its rate hiking campaign. For now, gold and silver bulls will view any bad news on the economy as good news. In other news on the sound money front, both houses of the Mississippi legislature have voted overwhelmingly to exempt physical gold, silver, platinum, and palladium coins and bullion from state sales taxes. The bill now awaits the signature of Republican Governor Tate Reeves. Mississippi is set to become the 43rd state to exempt sound money from state sales taxes. A dozen other states are currently considering legislation to rescind sales or income taxes on precious metals transactions. The more tax and regulatory barriers to broad public participation in physical gold and silver markets that are removed, the greater the surge in buying will be if a 1970s-style mania phase in precious metals ensues. Well, that will do it for this week. Be sure to check back next Friday for our next weekly Market Wrap podcast. Until then, this has been Mike Leeson with Money Metals Exchange. Thanks for listening, and have a great weekend, everybody.
Thank you for joining us for this week's Money Metals podcast. Be sure to come back next week. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast through iTunes. For answers to all of your questions, or to discreetly and securely buy or sell gold or silver coins, bars, and rounds, call 1-800-800-1865. or visit www.moneymetals.com. Our knowledgeable and no-pressure specialists are standing by to answer your call during business hours, Monday through Saturday. Or you can lock in your order online, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Again, visit us at www.moneymetals.com or call 1-800-800-1865.